Hello, and welcome back to Ward 13, where I'm going to have a little bit of an explore. Because there are multiple NPCs who I'm not particularly interested in talking to, but more importantly, we've got a key.
Hello again.
Hi. That's the outside. So we've got, where is it? Ward 13 key card and a tarnished ring. Now these are quest items. When Ford founded the ward, he buried secrets in its walls. So somewhere in Ward 13 there is something secret. And in this episode,
keep moving.
I mean to find it. Now, that's the crystal room. What's over here?
Good to see you.
Oh, this was down to Ward 13 Basement 2, Research Basement 3, Reactor Basement 1. Okay. So we've got the Ward 13 key card, which was Basement 2. There's a tome of knowledge there. So that's a good start. Nice. We'll use that in a bit. Ward 13 Command and Control Access Terminal. Email. Security Protocol Updates. From Commander Nathan Haskell. Due to recent events, we will be amending our security protocol to require an additional photo ID check upon entry to Ward 13. Entry will still require use of personal security cards, however an additional ID check will be performed upon entry to the ward. Security officers have been notified of the change. Okay. So we're going to need some photo ID, are we, later on? Right, we've got some logs. Casa. Eureka. It's taken us months, but we have finally reconnected a dreamer to Gabriel's world. Subject 24191 is online. The new bonded entity is vastly different from the previous one. Visual recordings are dim, but audio is greatly enhanced, so much so that our equipment cannot accurately record all of it. The new Guardian is belligerent toward the inhabitants. Malicious, even. I suspect it shares memories with the previous Guardian, consciously or not. It knows what the Fuzzies did and treats them accordingly. Fascinating. Physical expedition. Sounds like the high-ups are planning an honest-to-God physical expedition to one of the worlds. Commander Neville has requested all operations managers to submit our recommendations. Given the things we've seen since bringing Casa online, the Guardian, the root creatures, the massacres, I think it's obvious what our stance has to be. Jan 20th, 1968. Casa's equipment is going bonkers. It keeps resetting itself to a specific set of parameters, not just the dreaming harness, but the recording equipment, diagnostics, and even life support. The effect seems to be coming from Casa herself, but none of us understand how that's possible. Per procedure, we've tried to sedate and reboot Casa, but that has proven impossible. The system ignores our commands for sedation. Reg tried physically administering the drugs, of course, but the system automatically applied a reversal agent. I'm concerned if we try to overpower the system, we will end up killing the dreamer. On the other hand, that may be our only option, if this feedback loop doesn't resolve itself. We'll continue our observations for now, but after what happened with Gabriel and Clementine, I'm worried. They're everywhere. The root creatures from Cass's world. Oh, so is this what's brought them through? We were unprepared. How could we be? They attacked so quickly. Reg is dead. So many are dead. We've lost contact with wards 16 and 17, maybe others. Those of us still alive have locked ourselves in Cass's room for now, but it won't be long before we're discovered. What the hell is happening? They're after the Dreamers. They've killed all but Cassa already. It's just a matter of time. Except they aren't pounding on our door. They must know we're in here. If they're after Dreamers, why would they leave us alone unless... Oh God. Cassa. She's the gate. That's what I have to do then. We don't have any other choice. If we leave this room, they'll slaughter us. And if I'm wrong, well, one more dead Dreamer won't matter much if we're all dead. It's done. The system fought us at every turn, and then the root creatures began pounding at the door as though they knew what we were trying to do. But it's over. She's dead. And the roots are still out there. We're preparing to make one final run for it. I don't know how far we'll get, but we'll die if we stay here. Harsgard's Dreamer was in a feedback loop too. We have to tell them. If I was right about her being the gate, then... Email. Dearest Reg, I know you're dying to learn what the government's been doing since I moved into Ward 13. There's so much to tell. I don't know where to start. The red crystals weren't anything we thought, Reg. They're not power sources at all. They're conduits through space itself. I know. I wouldn't have believed it either. Right until you see what they're doing. They've connected test subjects, dreamers they call them, to some kind of guardian entities in other worlds. I don't mean other planets. I mean parallel worlds, side by side with Earth, but completely inaccessible apart from the crystals. Ah, so this is not a space travel thing. This is a dimension hopping travel. Ford and Harsgard. You remember Captain Ford, dear? He was the recruitment official who visited us at the university. Have a few dreamers on an atoll offshore, and the preliminary reports sound like fairy tales. Fauns, goblins, even magic. Of course, it can't actually be magic, but it certainly feels like it based on our current understanding of physics. It's hard to explain without being able to show you, Reg, but they won't let that happen until your transfer goes through. I don't even know if they'll allow this letter out, to be honest. It's fine. I'll show everything in person when you arrive. Our ward already has 2 dreams connected. I'm supervising activation of a third in a few days. Gabriel, they call him, though I get the feeling it's not his real name. I can't wait to see what he sees, to start investigating one of these worlds for myself. We're on the verge of something amazing, Reg. There's so much more to the universe than anyone thought, even Einstein. What wonders might be out there, just lying in wait for our discovery. See you soon. Belinda. Subject 24191, this was Gabriel. Preliminary observations and findings. Author Dr. Belinda Marsh, Operations Research Analysis Manager, Ward 13. Abstract. Commander Neville has asked for recommendations on which world should be chosen for our first physical expedition. Subject 24191 is the second dreamer bonded to the so-called Fuzzies world. But the world has changed drastically since the loss of the previous dreamer. With a new guardian entity, a new invading species, and widespread alterations to the world and inhabitants, it's fair to say it is no longer the Fuzzies world, and it is highly dangerous. It is my recommendation that we do not send a physical expedition to this world at this time. Keywords, subject 2419, Gabriel, Cassa, Dreamers, Fuzzies, Root Creatures. Background. Last year, subject 2419, known as Gabriel, died in the Dreamer's chair when his guardian entity was killed by the inhabitants of his world, informally known as the Fuzzies. The Fuzzies were intelligent and warlike, yet they were caring towards each other. We still do not know why they turned on their guardian. In February this year, we were finally successful in connecting a second dreamer when subject 24191, herein referred to as Cassa, bonded to what appears to be a new guardian in the same world. We've been feverishly gathering data ever since. Preliminary findings. Cassa's world is almost completely unrecognisable from before. Gabriel observed what appeared to be a massive living organism populated by small fur-covered creatures called fuzzies. Casa, however, sees a world covered in root-like growths with little of the original landscape visible underneath it. Fuzzies are rarely seen at all, at least not alive. The world is now populated by a new, violent species of creature. It is unclear where this new species came from. We saw no evidence of them in Gabriel's recordings, but they have eliminated a large percentage of the former population in a very short time. The new species appears to be plant-based, bearing a resemblance to motile trees or roots. These creatures are violent and destructive, actively hunting the fuzzies, slaughtering them, and leaving the bodies behind while they hunt more. We believe, there may still be fuzzies alive and in hiding, but given the ferocity of the root species, it is unlikely they will remain so for very long. Conclusion and recommendation. I believe the fuzzies will not survive without some kind of intervention. However, I cannot recommend that a human scouting party visit Casa's world at this time. It is likely the root species will treat us the same as the fuzzies, and given the speed and ferocity with which they fight, a lone scouting party will not stand a chance even with modern weapons. For now, I believe it is best that we continue our observations to learn what we can about this new species before engaging them. There's a lot of information in these logs, and it's all very interesting. Hello, green thing. A projection screen. Anything that we can... No. Right, we'll come back for that. Tape recorder. Trait unlocked. That was weird. Traits. Oh, that's the XP one. I should put a pointer to that straight away. Trait rank 32. So we're doing a lot of headshot or weak point damage. Right, I think I'm going to split points for a while between Vigor, Endurance, and Elder Knowledge. Because, you know, the more... Oops, I've accidentally started that playing again. That's kind of weird. The more XP that we get, obviously the... Ooh. A quest item. Still don't know what the tarnished ring's for. It's no surprise there would be extra fuses in the ward. Power in there is always surging and knocking out the various panels. The engineers that designed this system would be happy if they knew it had outlasted most of the human race. Well, not happy exactly, but... Right, so somewhere... There's something that we can use a fuse on. I wonder what... Right. Subject 2409 is online, so that's Gabriel. 2409 is Gabriel. 24091 is Casa. Subject 2409 is online. Vitals are stable, but we receive no visual information, and the audio consists only of a low, persistent rumble interspersed by seemingly random series of clicks. Attempts to find a pattern in the clicks have so far been fruitless. I'm convinced they're nothing more than signal noise, perhaps errors in the recording equipment amplified by the dreamer's subconscious. Or perhaps there's no signal at all. We've never tested what happens when a dreamer connects with nothing. Most likely Dr. Harsgard read the runes wrong, awaiting confirmation. Osgard claims he's not wrong and suggests we continue monitoring. We'll do so if only as CYA. Looks like we're stuck here for the moment. For a while. Dr. Itsaso, I heard a change in the audio last night. For about 20 minutes, starting at 0211, I heard some kind of singing. That's the only way I can think to describe it. This was on top of the regular rumble and clicks. I left the tape in your office for your review, so that's what we've just listened to. Please be advised that I may have seen an anomaly on video as well. A brief, very faint pulse of light during the time of the audio anomaly. It may just have been an artifact on the screen though. Excuse me. Or even my imagination. It was very late after all. Hell! I owe Harsgard $10. For about 2 hours on April 6, 1966, Subject 249's visuals lit up like the goddamn 4th of July. Dozens of lights pulsed on and off with no pattern we've yet discovered. Colours varied, but remained mostly between blue and yellow wavelengths. After approximately 145 minutes, the pulsing began to decrease in frequency, and by T+160, they had ceased entirely. Audio was unchanged during this time. Finally, we have proof this streamer is connected to something. Asgard is never going to let this drop. File corruptions. Mysterious. Nothing wrong with the... Now, oh. Oh! Log. Gabriel. The dreamer known as Gabriel, subject 2419, is online. Data's coming faster than we can deal with it. Gabriel's bonded entity guards a literal living world, some kind of massive biological organism that houses the guardians within it. The ground is flesh and responds to stimuli. The air is thick with moisture. The breeze shifts cyclically like breathing. The inhabitants of the world are equally fascinating. Small, fur-covered bipedals that we've dubbed fuzzies, with their resemblance to creatures from H.B. Piper's novels. They appear to be sentient. They have no spoken language, but they build tools and structures from the bone-like growths found throughout their world. These observations are preliminary, of course, but they're so exciting. A new species, first contact. What revelations might we uncover? The fuzzies have been acting stranger. At first, they had a kind of god-worshipper relationship with Gabriel's entity, but we've recently seen signs of fear and distrust, a few even threw rocks at their guardian. Could Gabriel's bond have somehow caused this? We've been very careful to observe only, not to interfere, but maybe the fuzzies detected some subtle change we could not predict. Too subtle for us to notice, yet strong enough to cause a violent reaction. It seems implausible. A minority of my team is concerned this will infect our experiments. One team member is worried Gabriel himself might be in danger, though I've seen no evidence of that. Gabriel's vitals have been unaffected by the random attacks. A more valid concern is that the very act of observing is affecting what we observe. That may be valid, but it's not reason enough to wake the dreamer. Not yet. Gabriel was attacked today, or rather the Guardian was. We're combing our records for any sign of provocation on our part, but so far have found nothing. Gabriel's been completely passive, allowing the Guardian to act independently. Most likely, whatever's happening predates Gabriel's bond. There have been more calls from the team to wake Gabriel. Still a minority, but it's true that his heart rate rose briefly during the attacks, but there have been no other signs the attack affected him in any way. I've ordered observations to continue. We will see this through. Subject 2419 has been declared dead on Sunday, April 3rd, 1966. His guardian was killed, and his body consequently suffered a cardiac arrest. We lost input immediately. Needless to say, my team is devastated. And yet, this presents exciting new information. This is the first time a dreamer has died in the chair. Tragic though Gabriel's death is, it proves the bond between dreamers and guardians is even stronger than we know. Research in the fuzzy world has been put on hold for now. Our previous observations and these log entries will be transferred to another room for study, while Gabriel's chair is prepared for the next dreamer. I know we'll be back. There's so much yet to learn. What happens when a world guardian dies anyway? Why are these bodies just that? That looks like, you know, the bubble that the Terminator travels in back through time in the Terminator films. And it kind of melts everything around it. Yeah. Something went horribly weird there. Let's see if we can find out what. In this room, please keep the air conditioner on at all times. The dreamer's entity lives in a frozen world, in some places colder than any recorded measurement on Earth, and seems to reflect aspects of that bond. In particular, she shows physical signs of discomfort at any temperature above 55 degrees. Those working in this area are encouraged to wear layers. Minor abnormality. The Guardian came across a clutch of orphanaged polus. Apparently, they'd been lost in a blizzard, but the effect on Clementine was unexpected. Her noradrenaline levels dropped, and her body showed signs of lacrimation. Most of the team believes the Guardian, the Dreamer, or both were saddened at the discovery, but we have no record of Guardians ever having or eliciting emotions. If only we could record emotional states somehow. It's unfortunate that we can't speak to the dreamers without waking them, and that we can't wake them without risking loss of the bond. New procedures. FYI, per Commander Neville's orders, we've sedated Clementine until her noradrenaline levels return back to normal. I guess this is now standard operating procedure whenever a dreamer exhibits any potentially unstable behaviour. I suspect the source of this edict is Captain Ford. After what happened with Gabriel and with Harsgard about to connect a new dreamer to this clawbone entity, I'm guessing Ford doesn't want any more unnecessary risks. He's probably right. Clawbone? Isn't that what... Didn't it say something about Clawbone next to the Gorefist enemy, the boss that we fought? Janitor. Could someone please tell the janitor to leave the AC alone? That's the third time we've had to reboot Clementine this month. Last frame. Clement not disintegrated at all. Rather, I think she shifted somehow, that she still exists somewhere along with everything else, including the poor janitor. Unfortunately, as to why, I have only conjecture. Reviewing Clementine's final tape shows... And in the very last frame, in one darkened corner, you can see this can't be Clawbone. Asgard always described his unknown entity in fantastic terms, but what if he wasn't exaggerating? We know he brought his dreamer online at approximately the same time Clementine disappeared after all. As I said, conjecture, but... So this is where Clementine was. But when the new dreamer, Casa, was brought online to replace the dead Gabriel who basically died from a heart attack when his connected guardian in a parallel world was killed, something horrible happened here. A surge of power, maybe? Looks like she spontaneously combusted and melted everything. Right, what's down here, if anything? Oh, are these steps back up? So far, this episode is 25 minutes long, and it has been pure story. Oh. A mysterious locked door. I like mysterious locked doors. Had we read this one? Yes. How mysterious. Right. We've got a fuse. Right, we've explored this entire level now. And it's taken us 25 minutes to do so. And I am 100% fine with that. I bet there are a lot of people playing this game who have not read all of those logs. Right, I guess the elevator's out. Let's head down to the next level. Basement 3. Aha! Aha! Bloop. Okay. Something over there. Can we... Hold on. Can we turn the power off? Now that we've opened the door. Aha! They call me... Ooh. Hello, purple thing. Ward 13 master key for upstairs. Ward, this key unlocks all locks of this type in Ward 13. Very convenient. Right, do I want to turn the power back on? Or do I not? I am kind of expecting things to jump out at us down here. Actually, let's turn the power back on and see if the computers have got any logs and stuff. This, folks, is very much turning out to be a lore episode. If you are interested in story, you found the right... found the right YouTuber. Because I will read everything. Also, I'll smash up most of the breakables as well. Right, there's a computer there. Ammo box. Right, this is a viewing theatre for some kind of experimentation. Conference room. Out of my way, chairs. Oh. With a bottle of bloodwort hidden behind the door. Can I smash up all these chairs? Well, yes, I can. Ah, therapeutic. Now, what I was actually looking for through that fan, there was a purple thing hidden behind some pipes. Oh, that's a cool reflection effect. Ah! It's there, in fact. Law book. Tome of knowledge. More elder knowledge for me, please. Oh. And another ammo box. We've got 7 of those now. Right. I guess then. Oh. System lock enabled. Can't do anything until we've got the correct key. Yeah. I was not expecting this hub to be a hub of puzzles as well as, you know, just a hub. I'm getting Stranger Things vibes here. The facility at the end of season 2. Thermal control. Has a bandage for me. So this is where the air conditioning is controlled from. Of course, it was the 60s. So it's kind of big and unwieldy. Back up to basement 2 then. And let's see if we can open that door with this key. Yes, it was this way, wasn't it? Wasn't it? Yes. And the locked door was here? Yes. Maybe? Yes. Aha! Oh, ooh! An SMG? A +1 submachine gun. It's a handgun! Feels quite good. Oh, a logbook from Mark Klinger, 7/21, 21st of July, 67. An explosion and research knocked out the circuit breaker in the north wing. The ward is running on backup power, but repair crews have been dispatched. Patients remain stable. No major incidents. 22nd of July. Main power is restored, but security camera 12 is offline. I sent Smith to check the cabling and he reported that the lines were fried. I filed a service ticket with maintenance. 1st of August. I'm a little on edge. There was an incident with patient 3323 Clementine last night. She was agitated, like she was having a bad dream. The doctors and nurses were scared. Something about PSK levels being way off the graph. It took 3 orderlies to pin her down. Can't say for sure, but I think I saw a microscope fly off the table and hit one of the orderlies square in the back of the head. No one threw it. The damn thing just shot off the table. The orderly is in the med lab. 27 stitches. Could have been worse. Much worse. 13th of August. Dreamer 3323 was at it again this evening. Started around midnight. The patient was moaning and crying in her sleep. Wasn't long before the crying turned to screaming and the medical crew rushed to the room. The orderlies could barely keep her down. Never seen anything like it. How does a 13-year-old child have enough strength to take on 3 full-grown men? Doctors were yelling at the nurses to sedate her, but the tranquilizer didn't take effect soon enough. They finally managed to strap on the restraints, but the patient thrashed around so much that she broke her right forearm. Broke her damn arm against the straps. This whole thing is kind of messed up. Ah, thanks for that shortcut. Okay, so we've got ourselves a new trait, a new gun, and a key that might have more uses. Reactor level. I don't think there was much of anything in here, was there? This is where we came for the kind of tutorial fight sequence. Nothing that we can interact with. No, just... Hold on. No. No, so I guess this area is just for the... Hold on. So this is just a fault log. Seismic behavior. So it looks like the whole thing is just running not so much on fumes, but on hopes and prayers. Also, it's a nuclear reactor by the look of it, so that's fun. Right, so nothing down in basement 1. "38 minutes into this episode, and the only thing I fought is boxes." Right. Let's go and talk to the root's mother.
The portent returns. Have you anything of the root?
Oh, yes, we have.
I have lost much, but I can offer this.
Increases the number of dragon heart charges by 1. Nice. So it looks like every time we get a simulacrum and we've got enough luminite crystal, we can get extra hearts.
Tread carefully, child.
Oops.
The portent return. Tread carefully.
Right, that's all she can do. Why would you stack cars like that? That's weird. Right. Are you just selling iron still?
Told them I couldn't have. I'm only sorry we did. We're both gone now. Gotta move on. But hey, if you find good scrounge out in the world, bring it by, yeah? I'll deal you fair.
Good scrounge. Yeah, I
Take care then.
don't know.
Hey there, friend. We weren't properly introduced.
Were we not?
Name's Reginald Malone. But you can
It's a
just
great name.
if you're looking for a fix to what ails you, I'm your guy. More if you just want to swap stories. I'm good for that too. I bet you got
Mostly running and looting.
Sell it short, friend. Best stories are in the details.
A wise man, Reggie.
It's good to see a new face again.
Excuse me.
Folks around here getting grim these days.
They are grim
Keeping
times.
yourself together day to day with the monsters all around us. Yeah, give a kind word where you can, and the world ain't all bleak. But hey, you found us a way out, didn't you? You're the hero of the war today, friend. Keep spreading.
That's us. Let's see your wares. Right, so he's got nothing new for us either. I think he's probably just going to have the same wares each time. Right. Do you have any new mods for
Thanks
us?
a lot for bringing another stranger into our midst.
You're welcome.
There's no way bringing a human root hybrid into the ward could backfire on us. Yeah? Better be worth my time.
Explosive shot. Oh, yeah, this is from the gang leader boss. Fires an explosive round that upon detonation will deal up to 120 damage to enemies within 3.5 meters. See, Yes.
Yeah, good.
Now go.
I'm not in the mood for chat.
Right, let's stick that on her. Right, I also wish to...
So, we have a new guest. Eh?
We do.
Well, she hasn't said much, but she stares right through you. Hopefully, we can make her feel welcome here.
I'd like to see your wares, please.
Certainly.
Right. I want to buy... Increases weak spot damage on targets greater than 15 meters away. Set bonuses. What's the set bonus for the stuff that I've got equipped? Mod power on crits. Well, I'm not even using that. And the scrapper's got a melee bonus.
Take care, my friend.
Right, so it looks like... Ooh, that's a massive downgrade. Hold on, what's this about select skin? Oh, that's the yeah, I think that's one of the pre-order bonus things.
Good to see you again.
Oops.
Anytime. Certainly.
Right, so I want to upgrade our armor. Okay, so that is upgraded to what it was before. The same as our cultist stuff. Now, it's up to +3. Right, hunter rifle +3. Yeah, I'm running out of iron, so I'm not going to be too daft. Just want to see what the scrap hammer's like. Scrap hammer is two-handed. That makes sense. That's got a different moveset. Right, there's a load of people there that we could talk to. But I think we probably done enough talking for right now. Oh, that's their room.
I'm not in the mood for chat.
You're never in the mood for a chat. I've got this master key, and I'm wondering if it opens any other. Oh! That's got a... Oh, there's charge attacks! Should probably have figured that out earlier, if I'm honest. Right, that's the bunks. And this is What's-Her-Face's room. Do you have any secret doors that we can... No? No. Right, in that case, I guess this 47 minutes. 47 minutes. Well done, Dema. You've managed to stretch an episode out to 47 minutes where you've not actually done anything in the actual game world. That's quite impressive, even by my standards. Really liking the story, though. So we've got dreamers who are connected to guardians via these crystals and via a drug concoction, by the sound of it, in parallel worlds. We've got guardian creatures that are tied to them, who are... I don't really know. Don't really know a huge amount about these guardian creatures. The one thing that we... Oops. One thing that we haven't found a use for is this ring. The ring looks worn but well loved. Polished from constant wear. Not a clue. Not a clue. But I guess we're going to head out to wherever it was that we were. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, click the like button and subscribe. Remember to ring the bell notification icon to get notified when new videos go live. And until next time, toodle pip.